to the Big Dawg Podcast. I am Michael Sanford, owner of TummClout Sports Media, and this is the Big Dawg Podcast. Today, this is the episode 8, the final of Media Day. We have your Highland Hawks here with us, back-to-back 6A champs. What we're going to do is we're going to let them go around the circle and introduce themselves one by one. We got quite the crowd here, so definitely want them to introduce themselves. We're going to start with you right here, Big Cody.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm Cody Colmore, number 2 this year. I'm safety and I'm playing some scat back or receiving back this year, so excited for it.
I'm Cole McCleve, number 7 this year, playing linebacker, a little bit of tight end.
Cash Colmore, number 1 this year, finally got it after 3 years, playing middle linebacker.
Caleb Fisher, quarterback, number 6 this year.
Hayden Doherty, number 82, tight end. You know what I'm saying? Boy Gray Taylor Jr., wide receiver, number 16.
Hudson Shamback, number 49, I'm a kicker.
Gunnar Riggs, number 54, I play center.
Bertrand Berry, the second, I'm an edge rusher, I'm Durrell.
Eli Kirby, number 3, running back.
And then we got Brock Farrel, head football coach, and Jason Lyons, our defense coordinator.
Yes, sir. Let's get into it, fellas. As we talked about a little bit before we started the cameras, the Highland culture, Coach Farrel. Yeah. What's your name, Coach DC?
Jason Lyons.
Coach Lyons and Coach Farrel, I'm glad to have you guys here, especially DC. Your defense has been the heart and soul of this thing. How do you guys put this physical nature, this high character student athlete into these kids, and how do you guys continuously pour into them to make this culture rock out the way that you guys have over the last 3-4 years? Where's that start, and how did you guys get this thing rolling like that?
Well, you know,
7.
Yeah, 7. This is our 7th year together. But when I first got here, I actually think there was a really good base of the kids, the players here. They were already physical and they loved to, play the game the way it's meant to be played in terms of physicality. One thing I think we really focused on was we made practice more high intensity, try to get more reps in, and not correct so much on the field. And then just defensively, we wanted to take advantage of the fact that we have really smart athletes, so we can do a lot more schemes. But we like to have all eyes on the ball and commit to stopping the run, and that's really been our bread and butter. Anything you want to add to that, Coach Lyons?
That's the buy-in of the kids. These kids prepare on a level where I was just talking to Coach earlier before we got on. I don't know if I could even bought in at the level they do, the time commitment, the work ethic, the off-season work, the way they do that. It really allows us to get into some advanced level stuff that they are able to execute, and it's pretty darn impressive.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I would like to thank the owner of Alkaline Activated and our co-host, Will Brown, for understanding community and allowing us to use his space for this unique experience.
I've been on top for a while. NASA chip it to the moon. Fast car make gon' vroom vroom. Take it to the boom boom room. I'm a visionary. I got the niggas scared. Bought a big paddock with a brand new wrist set it.
Sir, one thing I'll say though off of that is you guys run a well-oiled machine program over there. On the defense, we talk about the physicality and things, but it transitions to your offense. That pro style, kind of almost a dinosaur offense like Wing T at this point, but it's the beauty of playing right football. You know what I mean? You guys are really teaching the guys how to use a traditional Y like Hayden over here. You got your H-backs and stuff like that. And you're running smash mouth between the guards, G-power football. There's some stretching there. How's that come into your offense?
Well, I've never seen a team win a championship that strictly passes the football. The name of the game in tackle football, at least, is still run the ball, be physical, block and tackle. Right?
Yes,
so we got to do that. We got to commit to that. That being said, I played quarterback in college, so I want to score points and sling the ball a little bit. But somebody wise once told me that you throw to score and you run to win.
Yes, sir.
So I think that's what we kind of base our offense on.
Yes, sir.
And I love facing the tight end every day. It makes you a better defense when you have to account for that 11th player across the board.
Oh, no doubt. Me being a defensive guy myself, I really appreciate y'all's offense and how y'all approach it. You know what I'm saying? With the traditional tight end or going to ace formation with 2 tights. You know what I mean? Bring the H back over and put him as a wing.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes the third one, it's annoying.
It's kind of a lost. It's kind of a lost thing in this whole spread epidemic that we're going through. You know what I mean? Nothing against the spread. I mean, get the ball out to playmakers and things like that. But I can appreciate what y'all guys do.
Yeah, you know, I just want to be able to do it all, I guess, right?
Yes,
Go from spread one play to 3 tight ends the next, and make you prepare for everything. So.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to ask the question you guys are probably expecting the most. Back-to-back 6A titles, both years. A lot of speculation that you guys should have been in the open, but the computer system that decides the rankings is a little wonky. How do you guys plan to take that next step and make it to the open this year?
Yeah, we were talking about it. Apparently it's 8 wins. So apparently we got to win 8.
It's not. It's less than 3 losses.
Yeah. So
because even the 7-3 year we lost to Farrel, we were also 3 losses.
Yeah.
In there.
Yeah. So you know we got to find. Yeah, if you look at last year, we went on the road to Lone Peak and didn't play real well. We were beating Hamilton and then unfortunately fumbled with 2 minutes to go in the game. And lost to Chandler by 3. So you got to be on the other side of some of those 1 possession wins if you want to be an open team. So we're going to have to find a way to do that.
Yes, sir.
And I mean the numbers weren't wrong. They set the way it goes, and that's where we landed. We got to not lose 3 games. Is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That goes to my follow-up question. Define a successful season for these guys.
You know, that's a different question because we approach things differently. Like I'm gonna get long-winded here, but our whole athletics program, Highland, we talk about being elite Hawks with an elite purpose, and elite is actually an acronym that stands for enthusiasm, love, integrity, and toughness, and we gotta do it every day. So I actually tell the guys that we need to focus on the process, right? Like practice well, focus on the process, play well, and the wins will just become a part of what your character is. So when you say, how do you evaluate a successful season? You know, it's successful if we do those things. And sometimes when you do those things, the oblong ball bounces weird ways and you don't always win, but more often than not, you do. So.
This is my question for the seniors. Back to back, that's impressive. You guys are going for the trifecta. There's only so many schools in the country that are able to do that. What do you guys learn from the Gage Dailies to, you know, the Joes of last year to now you guys are seniors? What's their legacy and how does it impact you guys and y'all's leadership now where y'all, you know, you can't have the fall off. The fall off isn't acceptable. This year y'all gotta do something different, you know what I mean? Like, how's that go for y'all?
Yeah, I guess for me, something I've been focusing on a lot is just my leadership. Those past 2 years that we've had is, well, Gage was a three-year starter, you know?
Yeah.
And so, like, he had that leadership role, and we've had a couple, like, almost all of us have been on varsity 3 years. So I just think having that experience and that leadership, because last year, I mean, we still had some senior leadership, but it was definitely lacking on honestly the offensive side of the ball. And then once Bub came, it kind of totally changed the game. But I think we were lacking some leadership.
Yeah.
But then once Bub came, he really brought that leadership.
Yeah.
And you guys saw like the whole season change, you know.
Yes, sir. Yeah, no doubt. I definitely commend Bub. I've watched Bub grow over the last couple of years. I actually get the opportunity to help coach Bub in 7-on-7 and things like that too. So it's been a privilege to watch his growth. Bub, my question will be to you then is you move in from Hamilton, you go to Highland. Things are kind of shaky in the year, at the beginning of the year, especially after y'all go to Utah. Joe's a good buddy of yours. Y'all are battling. What are those conversations with Joe to win him over? Because you know it's kind of his team. It could have went 2 different ways. How'd you go about that?
Honestly, I have to commend Joe on how he did, even though, like, you know, he made his mistakes. Everybody saw that. But what everybody didn't see was the behind-the-scenes Joe. Because behind-the-scenes Joe, I mean, he brought me in and he made sure that I knew the playbook like back in my hand by the time I got in to be able to play. So for him to be able to do that while also trying to lead a team for the first 5 games, knowing that he's probably not going to play after the first 5 games, is definitely commendable. And I would say, I can't do nothing but thank Joe at the end of the day, because even though he made his mistakes on the field, off the field, and like in the field for practice, I think I speak for everybody when I say that Joe, he struggled last year, but when he did the right thing, it was noticeable.
No doubt.
This episode was brought to us by Western Trans Logistics. Western Trans has no affiliation to any high school direct. We do appreciate you for your support in the community and making Media Day very special for these teams.
First of all, he wore my high school number, so I instantly had a attraction to the guy. Pause. But I really liked Joe because the way he responded. He could have dropped his head. It could have got cancerous in there. You know what I mean? Him being a senior, but he came out. He went out to X, and I mean he was destroying DBs. That I got the touchdown that you threw to him in the state championship. That was a beautiful catch and throw. That was like y'all playing in the backyard.
Yeah.
Do y'all have those type of leaders this year? Seniors, I mean, help me out. Do y'all got that type of leadership? Who's this year's Joe? Who we looking out for? What's the surprises of this year?
Honestly, this year, I feel like the leadership role has kind of been spread out more amongst the team. I know in the past we've had more of like Gage Daly or Carson Allen, and last year with Cooper Scott and all those guys on defense. But I think for most of us who's been like 3-year varsity players, I think we've all gained that experience from the older guys above us,
Mm-hmm.
be able to lead this team.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, in my opinion, I think because of that, we have a higher chance of achieving things that the previous classes did.
And you fought for, how are you holding it down as the lone senior up there, up front? There's a lot of checks and stuff in y'all's offense.
Yeah, I think overall, just like as an offense, kind of like last year, we didn't have like a crazy good bond together. I feel like this year, kind of as an offense, we kind of like came together and like we're able to talk with each other, like talk through our problems and like kind of like talk and just like grow as teammates and grow as brothers, and kind of just from there, it just makes our offense just a better team if we're all able to work together.
Yes, sir.
Kind of circling back to the transfer situation, the trio of juniors right here, all you guys came in as transfers, had to sit out the first 5 games, right?
Yeah. So actually, he was there.
Okay, so Greg was already there. But
Yeah.
3 of you guys, Hayden and Kalen came in after 5 games, started balling out, gone through the off season. All 3 of you guys have brought in some D1 offers. What's the whole off season and since the end of winning the state championship been like for you guys?
I mean, the off season been just like straight work, to be honest. Starting even when we were still in school, we were out there with some of the other teams catching balls for the coaches. And some of the coaches weren't even out there looking at us or looking at Bub, and we were still out there working with them. And then through the summer, at Discovery Park, running hills, just kind of so this next season we can stay on top of it and be where we were last year, if not better.
Yeah.
And along with the scholarships and stuff coming in, I mean, all 3 of us got them. We're kind of just taking them in. We're saying thank you, but like the job's not done. We still want to win as a team. We still want to get more personally, and we want to get our other teammates some. So we focused on winning games. We're not really focused on the recruitment right now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would say it's kind of back on what he was saying. The offers and everything, those are good. I mean, we definitely need those. Like the plan is to go to college, but our main goal as a team and like as a group together is to make it to open. Honestly, I feel like we have no other goal but to make it to open, and to be able to make that statement that we belong in open, like we did the last 3 years. So,
Coach Farrel.
Yes.
I mean, I am in the media, so as a sports writer, I guess you could say I kind of gotta cause this time of shakeup. But this is your what I think is your most athletic team I've seen. Especially when you mix those young guys that you guys got in the back end, and some of those guys you got out there on the perimeters and special teams. Is that a challenge this year because you guys are more athletic guys want to play in space more? They don't want to thump as much. Is that a challenge? What's that look like with mixing these older guys who are seasoned with those younger guys that are raw?
That's a good question. So I'll answer it two ways. I agree. We probably are the most athletic that we've been since I've been there. I think the data backs that up. You just look at our 40 times, and on average, we're faster than we were in 2017. I remember our best receiver in 2017, I think, ran a 4.9 downhill with wind on a good day, right? So we've gotten faster, which is great. But I think it just goes back to what you're talking about. It's culture, right? Like our culture is we're built on defense, we're built on being physical, and you don't play if you don't know what you're doing and you're not willing to hit, right? Whether it's hit or block. So. I think we've done a good job because we do some stuff in the off season, but really it's these guys. Like they challenge each other, man. Like on Monday we're gonna go full speed, and I gotta like hold them back, right? Like so that's kind of our job. We gotta hold people back so we can make it to the.
Don't take them to the ground.
Yeah, that's what we're always talking about. It's a lot easier to slow someone down than it is to speed them up. So, but shout out to Willis, Dunbar, and those guys. These guys get out on their own accord in the off season and run down in the park there. What the hell is it, Discovery or something? Yeah, and I mean, again, when you're willing to go do that extra stuff outside, and it's not the coaches coaching them, it's the kids coaching themselves or pushing themselves in that way, that's how you get past that 7-8 win barrier we're trying to break. It can't be through coaching, it has to be through their commitment.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'll add one thing. I think I stumbled into kind of a blessing here. So Cash over here talked about he finally got number 1. Well, that's because all of his brothers have won number 1. I started with Connor back in 2017, and so we kind of joke that Highland doesn't recruit, we just breed, because I got like 17 cousins and brothers on the team. So the culture is literally like everybody says they're a family, but it's like literally a family thing.
That's fair.
That's dope, man. That's dope, Coach Lyons.
Yes.
You go from an eagle front to a bear front, and I think I've seen you in nickel and dime front with 3 down line with this jet going to get them. How do you get high school guys to buy into complexity of defense and game planning?
That's a good question. No, we just play a little 4-2 and cover 4 stuff. I will tell you, every day our schedule is on par with what's got to be near college. I don't know, I never coached in college, but we meet with these kids from 2:30 in the afternoon until 3:15. They go get trainer work. We're on the field at 4. Those kids, they watch opponents. They watch what we're doing. We don't coach on the field. We rep, and watch film the next day of how we did. And the film doesn't lie. And when we look at what they're able to do, it's awesome. But they buy in. They believe in what we're trying to do. So while it looks complex and it's crazy in the fronts and in the backs, these guys are playing fast, and they're running, and they're hitting stuff in groups of 6, 7, and 8 on a consistent basis. And they're the way they prepare, I think, lets us do that.
Yes, sir.
Actually, I got something to add to that. I guess like with us just being able to pick that defense up, because it is a super complex defense, Coach Lyons, with each of our weekly installs, basically will give us a set number of plays, and then it's for, like, we got the Hawk, who's a safety, strong safety, and we got middle backers, and we got Vulture. So basically, he'll give us a couple. Yeah, our positions are based off of birds on the defense.
Well, you're the Hawks, I understand.
We didn't get any turkeys, though.
No, yeah, but basically, Coach Lyons, I think the biggest thing is, as players, is that the coaches, we know that the coaches trust in us, so we know that on Fridays, like, as long as we're all communicating and doing the same thing, like, the play is going to work out, and yeah, like, it might not be the textbook perfect play, you know?
Yeah.
But the coaches trust enough to make a play and to stick to it that it'll work out in the end, so.
Sure.
Yeah, and as Cody was saying, Coach Lyons actually always harps on communication, and that's one thing this year. We have talent, yes, and years in the past, but communication this year is what's going to get us to the Open. Even more communication than we've had in the year to get us to the 2 back-to-back state championships. and listening to coaches, buying into everything. So. And eyes, yeah. And eyes out of the
Fix your eyes. We fix our eyes.
Eyes to the sideline, I'm reading keys. I like that. Greg, you're a legacy, correct? Am I not wrong, or am I right? You pops played for the Cardinals, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that any type of pressure on you? We talked to Kenny Erlacher. You know, now you're trying to build your own name, even though you are a junior.
Yes, sir.
How does it feel, man? Like, what's that like? Is there any pressure on you or anything? How's the relationship with your pops out there?
I mean, my relationship with my pops, we cool. He always tell me I never had to play football. If I don't want to do, I gotta do something else for my own passion. But like me just growing up, watching it, here from DC, like football, always playing outside.
Yes, sir.
Then I moved to Arizona, found these guys, a wonderful team, coaches that brought me in, helped me with the playbook, make sure I was right. Watching it all the way from my freshman all the way up to my junior year now. Now I just want to help with getting other guys that's like coming up, helping with the playbook, whatever they need, like plays and stuff, just making sure we all got that communication and camaraderie.
I'm glad you touched base on it, Greg. Your maturity is beyond its years, man. You really surprised me the other day how you would run routes full speed, even though y'all was kind of doing half field.
Yeah.
But then when you got done, you was teaching the younger dudes.
That's it.
Break at 20. You know what I'm saying? We were in post at 20, you could get there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
or
sir.
set them up, steal them inside, and get back outside. You was really coaching them guys through that. Where's this maturity come? Is that from the relationship you had with your pops, or where's that come from?
Watching the film, watching my position, how I like run routes, how to beat certain DBs and just stuff like that.
Yeah.
And knowing I'm not like the biggest or the tallest, I know I gotta like use my body, work more. So I just keep working, and just know how to beat them by simple details.
Sure.
You know, I also just speak, like, he's really humble, right? So Greg's a humble guy. He's not going to say, oh, I'm the greatest, but you don't teach other kids if you're not confident in what you do. So he's gotten to the point, because he's executed so well, he's put in the time, that, you know, he's not afraid that someone's going to take his position. Instead, he sees the big picture, and I think a lot of us do that, which is what makes us a great team.
Yes, sir.
Guys like that.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, BJ.
I know you guys play with a chip on your shoulder a lot. Obviously, being left out of the open back-to-back years, it took you guys off. Another thing I've noticed is you guys are surrounded by a lot of teams that get a lot of media coverage, whether it's Chandler, Hamilton, Bashas, Saguaro, all on the east side, and you guys are kind of the team that's forgotten about sometimes by the media. How much does that fuel you guys to go beat some of those teams that are getting more attention and all the glory?
OWTK, right?
I know.
As a little brother, I mean, it definitely drives you, and then half of the kids, or more than half on our team, are the little brothers of a lot of, siblings, so they're used to getting beat on, and, honestly, I like that. I like that we have to look at it as the underdog approach, because all it can provide is motivation, and it gives you that there's no loss or risk to loss or whatnot.
Yeah, I second that. I think that us being an underdog for as long as we've been, it just keeps growing our hunger more and more, and it just makes us want to just show what we can do, show everybody what we can do, what we're capable of. And I think that we're definitely going to have a chance to do that this year with our schedule. We definitely have a good schedule, a few teams that we haven't beaten in the past that we definitely plan on beating this year. So I think that this year is really going to be shown this year more than it has in the past.
Perfect, man. Go ahead, Coach.
I was just saying, anything else, guys? In the locker room, you all be talking all the time. How come nobody's coming talking to us? And I just tell them, if you keep winning, they all have to show up. So,
man.